All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between GodFather and Colorful, taking place here on Concealed Hill. GodFather spawning as the red undead on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Colorful spawning as the blue night elf on the bottom left. Should be a great game here as we get things underway. Let's go ahead and head to that 2-minute mark of this game, which is so important in terms of, well, getting straight into the action. So far, no big changes in terms of the first 2 minutes here. Ziggurat, Crypt, Altar of Darkness all being placed down. The Altar of Darkness actually a little bit later than normal, so it could be a Dark Ranger or some other tavern hero first. Meanwhile, we are looking at Colorful opening things up with a Demon Hunter, and the Demon Hunter of Colorful should be popping out here in just a moment as well. Oh no, Dreadlord first. All right, so a delayed Dreadlord with... Okay, not quite sure what this was about. So we have double Ziggurat already coming in from GodFather, right? We are looking at ghouls and more ghouls will continue to get trained up. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter is trying to clear out the remainder of this Forest Troll Berserker creep camp. The Claws of Attack were already dropped, and that Ancient of War is just now tanking a lot of that damage. Has to be very careful now, as that Ancient of War does need to eat up a couple of trees as the Demon Hunter now makes his way off to the north, perhaps to try and clear out some relatively easy creep camps. Off to the north here, we're looking at that Demon Hunter. He's picked up a Circlet of Nobility and is just moving straight around, and he has not trained up any ability just quite yet. Demon Hunter going to be coming across here. Dreadlord comes across with the sleep. Demon Hunter, however, able to break the 5 units around, and now is he going to toggle that immolation? No, he's going to mana burn and then Scroll of Town Portal out. All right, so there are some questions. Hey, would you rather use immolation in that point, or what's going on there? That was a situation where Colorful said, you know what? If I turn on immolation, I will most likely have to use the Scroll of Town Portal anyways. And by using the Scroll of Town Portal and having immolation turned on, well, I'm going to have to regenerate a lot of hit points and a lot of mana, setting myself very far behind in the game. By using a quick mana burn onto that Dreadlord, it ensures that the Dreadlord doesn't have as much mana while also teleporting out, and that Demon Hunter has action ready to go and able to creep. Even though the resurrection time is relatively short, well, he just didn't want to lose that there. All right, in comes that immolation. Now going straight after that giant sea turtle. Giant sea turtle taking quite a bit of damage. That's going to get taken down now. Going to finish off the rest of these 2 targets. Picks up a Slippers of Agility, and that's going to be a quick, easy kill there. Demon Hunter already at plus 10 attack between the Claws, the Slippers, and the Circlet of Nobility. Well, who says, well, he definitely knows how to accessorize, as the Demon Hunter now going after this Ogre Magi creep camp. All right, ensuring large amounts of damage. That Ogre Magi well, does get taken down here. Picks up a Wand of Illusion. It does pick up does get a second Circlet of Nobility as the Illusion now wandering around here. What's interesting is that this Demon Hunter could easily just auto attack, and even though it doesn't really do any damage, the simple act of attacking does stop some of that healing. So what he could purposely do is hit each of these different ghouls while we see a skeleton minion getting picked off in the center portion of the map there. All right, that would have been an easy way to, well, have a lasting impact, even though you are just using an illusion, but all of those units have now been healed back up to full. Demon Hunter looking to get to level 3, gonna go after this Tide Crawler creep camp here, and, well, immolating 4 units. That is always the dream, as that is a very efficient mana usage right there to be able to finish off all those units and perhaps go now for level 2 immolation. All right, so level 2 immolation, the illusion still keeping track of things here as the Demon Hunter heads off to the north and now going after this Ogre Magi creep camp. Forest Troll High Priest, there's going to be an ensnare there. Ogre Magi taken down. Crystal Ball going to get picked up, and we'll see what is going to be unfolding here as the Forest Troll Trapper now taken down. Meanwhile, Dreadlord, Staff of Teleportation back. Demon Hunter going to show back up to the party. Are we going to see anything really there? No, there it goes. Level 3 Dreadlord Carrion Swarm trying to rip through. There's a mana burn. So trying to line up damage with that Dreadlord as well. Archers are trying to hide here. Tech to tier 2 already done. Now going into tech to tier, or going into slaughterhouse tech with the Temple of the Damned. All right, so this is a rather go-wide strategy. You can see a quick reveal right there. Slaughterhouse and the Temple of the Dam are both revealed. So are we going to be looking at perhaps a bunch of meat wagons with those necromancers? Necro wagon, a very popular strategy when your opponent doesn't have the ability to disenchant, and well, wisps trying to disenchant, not necessarily the best way to do it, as the the brewmaster's breath of fire needs to get to level 2 to efficiently try and blow over those skeletal minions. The Demon Hunter also needs to get to level 4 to get level 2 mana burn, perhaps to try and make things a little bit more interesting. Demon Hunter trying to back away here. The Dreadlord spots this Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, is he going to try and engage? Oh, there's onto the high ground. Demon Hunter is going to turn on Immolation. He is going to turn on Immolation and then perhaps try and Staff of Teleportation out. One ghoul going to get finished off here. Another ghoul. Oh, wow, that is a bunch of dead ghouls. Level 2 Immolation making the job done, but the Carrion Swarm ripping through the Demon Hunter gets taken down anyways. Level 2 Panda, level 3 Demon Hunter, perhaps going to get resurrected the old-fashioned way, just simply waiting for gold. But that was that a calculated risk, or did Colorful make a mistake? That is going to be difficult to, well, ascertain until we see what the follow-up is going to be, as we still don't see that Demon Hunter back on the battlefield yet. There's a Drunken Haze. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire go down? No, we are not. They're just trying to pull those units away and try to pull that Null Warden back. All right, there's that Breath of Fire damage over time, as the Brewmaster is taking a little bit of a beating, but, well, keeps on ticking. All right, Dryads now joining in on the battle. The Dryads with Abolish Magic, not necessarily the best way to handle skeletal minions if they do decide to pop on up. There's a couple of meat wagons here, or one meat wagon here with the second one getting trained, but we don't see any necromancers getting trained yet. Oddly enough, we don't see a necromancer being trained, and Godfather is really pushing heavily into this solo Dreadlord tactic. There's a Tome of Intelligence being left behind. Not the smartest thing to do, as the Brewmaster does need a lot of mana if he wants to use that Breath of Fire effectively. Demon Hunter still about a minute away from getting trained back up onto the battlefield here, as the Ancient of War perhaps going to be tanking damage from that Ogre Lord and trying to clear out this creep camp here. All right, purposely going to pull back. There's that Ogre Lord, and here the battle is engaging. Ancient of War taking that damage. Panda, is he going to try to Drunken Haze Breath of Fire here? I don't think he's going to be doing that. Trying to save up a little bit of mana. You can see that the Ancient of War has, well, eaten quite a bit of damage, as the Brewmaster now gets up to level 3. However, a couple of Carrion Swarms ripping on, well, there's a sleep there. Dreadlord able to do quite a bit of damage. Are we going to see more damage go down onto these archers or other units? There's another sleep again, as the Dryad show up. All right, so this potential creepjack causing major problems, as Ghoul is now coming down to perhaps try and disrupt the expansion attempt on the south side. Staff of Teleportation, the Dreadlord heads back home. Endurance Aura, Ghoul is going to finish off this Tree of Life. It actually gets taken down, no whiffs, meaning that, well, there was no refund there whatsoever. Panda, is he going to get a Breath of Fire off? There's a Breath of Fire, does get some damage off there, and a couple more ghouls will get taken down. The Breath of Fire animation not properly loading, but I believe you guys did see that. Meanwhile, dual meat wagons here able to, well, find a way and put in position to try and take down this entangled gold mine. All right, no hippogriffs, no possibility for any air, and that is a major issue. Dual meat wagons causing major problems here, and Colorful not going to be able to get any gold whatsoever. Dryad's going to try to drop into position, but I don't believe there's actually room. There's no room to unload here whatsoever, and with that, oh, a Carrion Swarm rips through, takes down all of those wisps as well. Oh, major loss. There's a Breath of Fire. Does end up hitting some of those meat wagons. The Brewmaster gonna need some time to try and blow those over. Is he gonna be able to do that? As we can see that the Goblin Zeppelin now trying to back away. There's some Dryads poking right there, and that Goblin Zeppelin able to back away now. Entangling of the gold mine has begun. Demon Hunter gonna clear up, finish off that Acolyte, but some cute play as the Temple of the Damned now finally training up some Necromancers. There is still some meat wagons out here, so this is a little bit of a curious play. All right, what is going to go down here? Just trying to stay away from any ground whatsoever. The Dryads! Oh, the Dryads were able to take down the Goblin Zeppelin that had 2 meat wagons in it, and that was a major loss. All right, so losing 2 meat wagons and a Goblin Zeppelin, and the meat wagons are going to have to be replaced here if this Necromancer strategy is to be used. However, Colorful finally now able to entangle this gold mine, so there is a disparity in terms of gold mine, 6,800 versus 56, a 2-minute mining difference here. And is that going to be enough? All right, Demon Hunter trying to come back across. We're going to see a little bit of damage. We are still at Halls of the Damned. More, Necromancers making their way through. Meat Wagon needs to perhaps try and grab a couple more of these corpses, as well as we are also looking at an Obsidian statue. Goblin Zeppelin and a Goblin Shredder right here. A little bit of damage as the unit's trying to back away. There's a couple of archers, and that's going to lob some attacks on right there again. All right, Staff of Teleportation going to head back out. Goblin Shredder going to try and finish off a Wisp. Does get the Wisp. And now this Goblin Shredder is just going to hide back on the far side again. Off to the north, Demon Hunter has cleared out another gold mine here. Level 4 on the Demon Hunter. Level 3 on the Panda. Going up against a solo level 5 Dreadlord who, is going to be leading an army against... Obsidian statues, dual meat wagons, a couple of Necromancers, and they're going to be ready to move here in just a moment. All right, this game has not gone any way that I have expected it to go. This reset here causing a little bit of problems. Remember, a lot of Wisp were lost in the process, as well as Colorful just now trying to go into Tier 3. That is going to be a lot of investment before any return on investment here, as 2 minutes, it can feel like an eternity while you're trying to get that tech to Tier 3 and then trying to unlock all of those Tier 3 upgrades. Dreadlord making its way back out now. You can see the Demon Hunter making its way down. I don't believe there is a cripple yet, no. And, Goblin Zeppelin, Goblin Shredder going to go ahead and try it and do all of that mining as the Demon Hunter heads off to the north here. There's an ensnare gift-wrapped Acolyte. That Acolyte is going to get taken down, and now the Demon Hunter trying to back away as we're looking at, some major pressure coming across. All right, there's a big mana burn there. There's a sleep. There's some damage, and the meat wagons are going to try and finish things off here. There's a Carrion Swarm ripping through. Meat wagons are going to try to take down the Dryad. Demon Hunter going to try to go after more units. Could turn on Immolation. Does need Immolation as the skeletal minions are in the backfield not engaging. There's a Scroll of Protection right there. Dryads are going to try and push. Meat wagons are trying to dive in onto the Dryads here, and this is really a miscontrol of GodFather. GodFather has so many skeletal minions out here, but he hasn't been bringing them into the battlefield. Demon Hunter, more Moonwell juice. Are we going to see some summoning up some more units as the Demon Hunter getting up to level 5? More units are getting popped on out here. Obsidian statue trying to keep things topped off on mana. There's a sleep onto the Brewmaster. Level 5 now onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter trying to escape away. Brewmaster trying to fight his way out of a tough spot. Going to try to Breath of Fire. Blows over again, but still so many skeletal minions here that this could be a problem. All right, more detonations, more abolished magic. Demon Hunter trying to chase after all of these Necromancers. Necromancers getting taken down, but the Demon Hunter could have problems. All right, there's Unholy Frenzy. There's a little bit of damage. Trying to get in front. There's going to be a surround, and I believe that Demon Hunter is going to get taken down. Dreadlord now sitting at level 6. Does not have enough mana for the Infernal, though, as the Brewmaster may try to come across. There's a big Breath of Fire again. Sitting at 4.5. Skeletal minions, all these units trying to retreat back. Dreadlord trying to chase after a Dryad. Endurance Aura and Boots of Speed and Unholy Frenzy. Not enough to keep up with that fast-moving Dryad. A little bit too much of a chase here as the Bruise Master's Drunken Haze now getting in a critical strike onto the meat wagon. Units trying to fall back here. Necromancer, well, unable to get damage onto this Dryad. Dryad down to 13 hit points, and it looks like finally the Dreadlord is going to get the hit off. All right. 25 supply compared to 32. What happened in this game? It just completely fell apart in a matter of seconds. There is going to be a quick heal at the Fountain of Health due to that a Moonstone being used. Demon Hunter still needs about another minute to get resurrected. We are at Tree of Eternity, but I don't think we have mastery training yet. Meanwhile, Dreadlord trying to get back up to a decent amount of hit points, but I believe the artificial daybreak is going to be coming to an end here in just a second, and that Dreadlord does need to back away. Meanwhile, we see some Acolytes are repairing. Are they auto-repairing? Yes, the Goblin, Zeppelin, Meat Wagons, and more Necromancers are getting trained up. 37 supply compared to 32, but the Dreadlord will be able to call down an Infernal, which is incredibly important at this point and stage in the game. Colorful also 3,600 gold lumber. Not quite sure why he has this much lumber at this point, and still having this Goblin Shredder collecting more instead of trying to bring it into battles. Probably has enough lumber for the rest of the game at this point. As the Goblin Sapper, oh, is it going to be enough? Trying to finish it off. I think he cut it a little bit too close. 2 seconds, 1 second, 0 seconds. Oh! Demon Hunter falls in the altar with less than a second to go for the resurrection. Goblin Sapper coupled with everything. I thought the Dreadlord would have needed an additional attack. That is not the case. All right, there's a sleep here. Are we going to see a rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter? We are, and both sides are still fighting. There's going to be a Staff of Teleportation or Outbound as damage is still getting racked up here. Druids of the Claw are at mastery training, as that Infernal is just trying to get away to deny experience. Level 5 on the Demon Hunter, level 5 on that Brewmaster, as the Goblin Zeppelin, is it going to try and drop here again? That would be funny if it just did the same exact play and dropped in once more, thereby denying all of that precious gold from that entangled gold mine. GodFather going to be, well, making its way back down to the south. It looks like GodFather's going to be trying that strategy once again. Goblin Zeppelin is there. You can see a couple of meat wagons, and GodFather is slowly getting the tier 3, this obsidian statue, out of mana. And what is going on here? The Demon Hunter leaving behind one of these meat wagons. We do not have Nature's Blessing, so those are moving rather slowly now, as the Demon Hunter does finish off that meat wagon there. All right. Little bit of lob attacking back and forth. We are looking at Halls of the Dead. It needs some time to get to tier 3. The Hunter's Hall about to get taken down. Infernal looking to get in a little bit of, well, infernal damage onto these units. And you can see that the archers are just getting taken down so quickly. Well, there goes one archer. Another archer could get taken down. He's going to chase after it. No, he is not. Now going to try and retreat back again. Meanwhile, Dreadlord needs a little bit of time. It needs mana. Needs another obsidian statue. That seems to be the problem. Are we going to see it? Oh, Necromancers are right there. There's a sleep. Unit's going to try and engage. Gargoyle is there as well. And the Necromancers do not have cripple. Does have Unholy Frenzy as the units are trying to retreat back here. Demon Hunter going after the Dreadlord. Dreadlord dangerously low on hit points. Does have a potion of healing, and well, is going to be forced to use it as the Demon Hunter falls back again. Infernal trying to pull things away, perhaps. Little bit of damage. A lot of skeletal minions and a skeletal mages. 2-1 upgrades onto those mages there, as the Halls of the Dead nearing, well, completion to tier 3. On the southern side, Acolyte is going to be doing a little bit of mining here. That's an additional 10 gold. 10 gold.
A player's forces are under attack.
Well, additional 2 gold a second, so 120 gold a minute. And we're looking at the skeletal minions trying to fight back against the Demon Hunter here. Rejuvenation, Druids of the Claw, both sides fighting. And this is just kind of draining the mana. The Necromancers have to be very, very careful. The obsidian statues are constantly low on mana here. These skeletal mages and skeletal minions, as they're popping up, they're not, and if they're not engaging, that is just kind of wasted mana here. As skeletal mages are now making their way back across. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter trying to engage off to the north. Panda could try to get another breath of fire, perhaps blow things over. Demon Hunter does have immolation, needs another rejuvenation. Druid of the Claw getting a bit of rejuvenation and trying to back away. Dreadlord does have a potion of mana, could summon down another Infernal onto all of these targets again. And that is going to be the key point, as the Dreadlord is regenerating hit points while on a Blight. Well, rather effectively. Are we getting another Obsidian statue? No, we are not. Unsure of how to approach at this point and stage in the game. All right, Nerubian Tower here. GodFather setting himself up for the potential late game, setting up this extra base on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Druid of the Claw going to get some additional health from that fountain of health. And really, GodFather is in control of the pacing of the game, and Colorful doesn't know that he needs to force an engagement just quite yet. Demon Hunter. All right, there's a Dreadlord. There's a Carrion Swarm. There goes one Druid of the Claw. Dreadlord forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal like an Invul Potion. Gonna back away here. Demon Hunter, what's gonna happen? Well, Dreadlord is still right there. Are we gonna see an Infernal come down? No, we are not. Just surrounded by an army of units. There's a big Breath of Fire. Doesn't get to the Dreadlord much, as we're looking at the units still engaging here. All right, still more damage. There's a Mana Burn there. I would have thought a potion of greater mana summon followed by an Infernal to land on top would have caused enough problems here. Meanwhile, we're still looking at the Dryads, dealing with that one meat wagon inside the base there. Southern side, 2 out of 5 Acolytes, with more Acolytes coming across to summon here. Acolytes now transitioning and moving over, looking like they need to set up an expansion. And this is kind of playing into GodFather's plan. There is this Wisp here, and it's going to see that Acolytes have been transitioned and moved over. So it looks like he's trying to set up an Expo, even though he doesn't really need to, since he has one on the bottom right. All right, misinformation and making decisions without the full picture, that could lead to the problem in this game here, as the economic advantage of GodFather really taking off now, as this gold mine also protected by a Spirit Tower and a Nerubian Tower. Fully saturated here. That Wisp going to make its way over, quickly get taken down, and then realize, wait, what have I gotten myself into? I thought I was the only one mining, even though my gold mine is nearly out of gold. 47 supply compared to 49. Colorful having a fair amount of gold in the bank, should be spending it all here in just a moment, needing to get perhaps a bit more units out, but doesn't have enough Moonwells down to really break upkeep. Panda, Staff of Preservation, gonna go ahead and try and save units here. There's that Gargoyle trying to back away, and the Panda going to be coming back across. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. There's that Breath of Fire dealing a decent amount of damage here. Tome of Intelligence, Brewmaster, unit Acolytes trying to hide back on the far side here. What is this army doing? We are trying to get up a Frostworm here. Take down, why take down this? Oh, Scroll of Town Portal going to go ahead, teleport away, and now Demon Hunter is right there. Meat Wagon. Are we going to see an Infernal? There's a sleep onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster nearly taken down. Demon Hunter going to be in trouble. Necromancers only have Adept training, do not have Cripple. Are we going to see another sleep go down here? Yes, we are. And the Brewmaster is going to be completely surrounded. Brewmaster also slowed down by the attacks of that Frostworm. There's another Breath of Fire, Drunken Haze, and that could cause problems as the Necromancers are slowly burned to death as well. 43 supply compared to 46. Dreadlord trying to finish things off. There's a big Carrion Swarm ripping through and taking down another Druid of the Claw again. 3 out of 5 Acolytes mining here. That is a little bit of gold. However, the units to be trained are a bit far away. Reinforcements are going to take some time to get there. And what are these skeletal minions and mages going to do here? Dreadlord perhaps could try and go after this Fountain of Health and clean things up. Meanwhile, Colorful is going to be forced to bring a battle to this well-fortified position that has Spirit Towers, Nerubian Towers, a Frostworm, and while fighting on Blight. All right, 56 supply. Frostworm going to have some problems here. Going to try and retreat back here. He is on Blight now. Dreadlord continuing the battle here. Meanwhile, that Frostworm about to get taken down to 163 hit points. Going to get back up onto the high ground. Meat Wagons are doing those lob attacks against those Dryads, as the Dreadlord is just trying to hold off the onslaught now. Necromancers, not even engaging in this battle until they get dove on into, as the Meat Wagon trying to drop some more of these Crypt Fiends. All right, there goes one more Meat Wagon. Frostworm back out here onto the battlefield. It's going to get taken down. It's going to level up. Yes, Demon Hunter gets up to level 6. And now with Chaos damage, that could change things as the Dreadlord down to 42 hit points, down to dead. Colorful able to come away with the victory, relying on the higher level heroes, getting to level 6 on that Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter Panda combination, even the Breath of Fire, although we didn't get to see a lot of it, was able to do quite a bit of damage across all of those skeletal minions and skeletal mages, opening things up for higher level heroes. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.